Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to the RC Driver Workshop. Today we're going to take a quick look at the Tamiya Land Cruiser 40 Quadtrack. Now this is a pretty cool kit. We've seen this kit before actually with wheels on it. The GF01 chassis. It was a fun model. I love driving that kit. And now they have it with their track set. And their track set is pretty awesome. Definitely something you need to see if you've been thinking about adding a track vehicle to your collection. Now this is a kit, so I'm gonna go throw it together and we'll take a closer look. So here we are after a few hours of assembly, painting, and detailing. Our Toyota Land Cruiser 40 Quadtrack is together in this tiny truck. Looks really cool. I love the look of the tracks on this thing. Now the Toyota Land Cruiser body, obviously it needs to be painted, masked off, decaled, and you could of course choose whatever colors you want. We went with the blue that you see on the box art. Just seems to look really good on this. I do like the red as well that we saw on the wheeled version of this, but love the comical figure on the inside. You know, the Toyota decals look really cool out back. They give you headlight and taillight decals, obviously. You could go probably put some LED lights if you want to. You'd have to fab something up, but when this body is done, I don't know what it is about these comical style bodies, but they look really good. And when you're out there driving it, it just looks like a lot of fun. Now let's take a closer look at the platform. It is the GF01 platform and it has the FT designation for the Quadtrack. So, you know, it stands for 4-track. But, you know, this chassis here is a proven chassis. It's really simple to put together. The drivetrain is actually inside of the chassis. That's why you see those bulges on the side. Those are for the gears. Obviously all plastic gears on the inside. Bushings, it is a bushing kit. If you want to get some ball bearings, you have to go at fast Eddie. But at least there's some metal components like the dog bones and outdrives and stuff. There is a gear differential front and rear. However, they give you some putty to go and lock it up so this thing will crawl over whatever it wants to. Plenty of ground clearance on the bottom of it. Obviously with the tracks, it gives you even more. Really stubby suspension arms for the suspension, but once this thing is done, I don't know, it just looks so cool for some reason. Now let's talk about some of the other features of this chassis. You know, all of the electronics are mounted up top, and that's from the original version of this. It helped the vehicle do wheelies, but I like the spring-loaded front bumper. That's a pretty neat part that's on a lot of Tamiya vehicles. This one still has the wheelie bar, you know, for when it was a wheeled vehicle, which I don't think it's gonna need. Well, it's a track version, but the suspension on here, just your basic spring-loaded shocks, your simple H-arms with fixed upper links. Shock towers are molded into the chassis, you know, spring-loaded shocks in the rear as well. No real damping, just rebound on these, but it'll work good off-road to do some basic crawling. The steering is pretty simple on this. The servo's mounted to the side of the chassis with a rod going over to a single bell crank. It comes with a 540 Mabuchi motor, and that's pretty much all the power you need to have fun with this, although you can go swap out the pinion for a little bit more power. They do include the Hobbywing 1060 speed controller, which is pretty awesome. It is a LiPo compatible speed controller. Now let's talk about these tracks, because these are what really sets this kit off. These tracks from Tamiya work absolutely awesome. But as far as tracks out there for RC vehicles, Tamiya really has this setup down. They just seem to work really well. They don't come off of the guide wheels. Everything works smoothly. It'll even spit out rocks if they get caught in there. So if you're looking for a track vehicle, this is seriously one to check out. All right, that's all you need to know about the Tamiya Quadtrack Land Cruiser 40. Now let's just take this thing out for a drive. So obviously the first Tamiya Quadtrack I drove was the Landfreeder, and I was really impressed with what that truck could do as a tracked vehicle. And then I drove the 40, and I was a little bit more impressed with this rig. And the reason being is it's got more of a square footprint to it, shorter wheelbase, and for that reason, it just wants to crawl up whatever you put in front of it. Over there in the dirt lot, the dirt was really loose, and it went up those hills without an issue. It went over the rocks without a problem either. It's a little bit kind of rugged looking when it goes over rocks because you don't have a lot of suspension movement, you don't have a ton of track movement, but it gets over the terrain, which is just really cool. It's actually really well powered to out of the box with the silver can motor on a 2S LiPo battery, and the steering is pretty decent, all things considering. It's a single crank, and I have a standard servo in there, and it turned pretty well. So it was actually a really fun rig to drive, and I had a blast over there with it. It's just a really fun kit overall to build up. I do like their comical style with some of their vehicles, and to me, they just make a fun overall experience. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section below. I will have links in the video description. And we've got some more Tamiya stuff coming up soon. We've got the Terrell, I've got the Volkswagen M05. Let me know what you want to see next on the channel. All right, we'll see you soon.